Fox News alert now. President Trump pulling U.S. troops out of northern Syria ahead of Turkey's invasion, but the White House getting backlash for the move from Kurdish-led forces who accuse the U.S. of abandoning them. Let's bring in Jeremy Butler, CEO of Iraq and Afghanistan Veterans of America. Great of you to be here. First, your reaction to that news this morning. Lindsey Graham appeared a short time ago on this network, said this is a big win for Iran and Assad and a big win for ISIS.
Yeah, thanks for having me on the show. It certainly came as a surprise, I think, to everybody. It's not necessarily IAVA's focal area in terms of talking about current U.S. policy, but I think what our members would say is that this potentially shows a troubling trend of possibly abandoning our allies, those that we've worked with. We fought alongside the Kurdish allies very strongly and deeply for a long time, and I think there's a risk here of sending a signal that the U.S. maybe isn't always standing by in the long term with its allies. And we've seen that in a similar way with those interpreters that so many of our service members worked with in Iraq that now are looking to escape the troubles there and want to get U.S. visas.
All right, we will continue to get reaction to that this morning. Meanwhile, the Taliban meeting with this U.S. peace envoy for the first time since that canceled Camp David visit. Few details have emerged from Friday's meeting. Just wanted to get your thoughts on what you were able to take away from what we have learned took place.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a continuation of what we heard before, which again was also kind of a surprise, I think, to a lot of us that was going on. Our members are pretty divided on this issue. I think a lot of them are concerned that we're talking to the Taliban as opposed to the Afghanistan government. That's who will be in the long term, the ones taking care of the country. And so we want to make sure that the conversations are happening there. We just did a flash poll with our members to find out what their thoughts were on this. It was not a scientific poll, but the results were pretty strongly that they're a little concerned that we're talking to the Taliban.
Meanwhile, 14,000 troops still in Afghanistan today. You've heard constant frustration from the president about this. What would you like to see next in terms of U.S. strategy?
I think I'd like to see a much deeper debate, dialogue, discussion amongst the administration, members of Congress, the Department of Defense, everyone, the public, frankly, to get a better understanding of what our intentions in Afghanistan are, what the possible peace plan could look like, and what that would mean for the future of Afghanistan, and certainly for the U.S. and our allied militaries that we're fighting with.
Meanwhile, as a Navy veteran yourself, you represent the new generation of veterans. I know that you have done a lot when it comes to crisis prevention, the rising suicide rates of our veterans, reforming the VA. Can you provide us an update on where things stand today? Is progress being made?
Yeah, unfortunately, it does not seem so. So new numbers just came out from both the VA and the Department of Defense on suicide numbers, and they're going in the wrong direction. They're going up. You know, you've heard about the 20 a day of suicides. It seems like it's going now up to 21 a day. And there's a lot of these veterans that are just not getting the connections to the support and services they need. Not a lot of them are not connected to the VA. So there's needs that are not being met that we can't just look at the VA to solve this. We need a whole of government approach. We need a whole of society approach if we're going to solve this crisis.
We care so much about the future of our veterans. It's everything for this country. And I wanted to throw up the line, the Veteran Crisis Line. It's 800-273-8255. It's open 24/7. Dial 1 when you call that number. If you or a friend or a family member, it's there for those veterans that need that. We hope the situation improves. I know that you've been working hard on that. Jeremy Butler, appreciate your time this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you.